Hey, what's up, people? I'm Kelvin before Gumbi, KBG. What it do? Before I got saved, I used to go out a lot, man. Like, you know how it is nowadays, where people go out for a party on Friday. You just make up like an excuse at home and say, moms, dads, I gotta roll. I've got a studio session tonight, so can I go out? I'll come back tomorrow. So I would go out, come back the other day in the morning. I was that type of a person. But then my parents didn't know. My parents never knew about who Kelvin really was. And as a youth, as a teenager, I was also exercising my rights. So we used to go out a lot. I used to love ladies, that type. There came a time in my life I started asking myself questions like who I really was, because I didn't know. I was just trying to figure out, trying to be satisfied. So I would go out, search for things, try to satisfy myself, there was a time I tried, drinking. I blacked out. I remember that was once. I never used to drink, but there was one day, I went to the lake with my uncle and all of them, and I drank. I blacked out, and since that day, I told myself, you know what, I can do all these other things like go out, girls and stuff like that, but I'm never gonna drink again because I didn't see the point. You drink, you black out, wake up with a hangover there, and your day is pretty, is messed up. There was a time I remember. There was a chick that I liked a lot. There was a day, I just like how God works His things. There was a day at Plante Baptist Church, Kunali Youth Festival. There, Chiki Jenabwe 10, she was like, dude, there's a youth festival, so I want you to come with me. What amazed me was I went to this church thinking that it was gonna be boring, I got there. The place was, packed. It was like, I was like, whoa. The first guy that caught my attention was this kid, delegate, his name is Jeremiah Chikwaza. He was on stage, and then I think by then he was 12 years old. So I see this kid is on stage and he's flowing, he's rapping for God, and he's even doing it better than most of the guys that I know. And then after him, kunabwera David, amazakamba Testimony. So me back in the days, I studied kwambiri real elements. And then kumona David anabwera pa stage, and then he's like, don't call me Sticks anymore because I'm born again now. I'm like, okay. So this is very disappointing because dude, I follow you, and then I see you on stage right now, talking about God. What are you trying to say? For me, doing hip-hop and music, it was because I was inspired by these guys. And then he was there on stage talking stuff like Ineo, Mwanga, Dimapita. He was in the UK, and then he was talking about how he almost got signed to a record label, but then he actually decided to quit that rap and follow God. And then the man, I think I really also need to change because this direction, I don't know what this guy has, but then what he has seemed to be more fulfilling than what I was chasing, because I was chasing, fun, I was chasing girls, I was chasing fame, I was chasing, a lot of things, but then I wasn't satisfied. And then I remember the guy, this other guy came in front, and then he's like, if you're really touched, if you really know that this message was for you, you need to come, step forward, come to the front. And a brother sitting there, and then there's a girl in front, and like next to me. I'm like, dude, I'm touched, yeah, for real, but she got to the front. I like this babe, but then she's gonna think I'm weak. I sat there for a while, battling within myself. And then out of nowhere, I found myself in the front. I don't know how it happened, but I was in the front. And then I remember I was in the front, and I'm asking myself, what are you doing here, man? You need to go back, sit down. I'm like, no, because in my head I was thinking, no one is gonna come to me and try to lead me to Jesus because of the way I was dressed up. I heard about Jesus, so for me, It was like I know about Jesus, but I never knew him myself, as in a personal, in a personal perspective to say. I didn't really know God. So I heard this beautiful love story about my Jesus, who really came down and died for me, and he looked past my sins and said, you know what, even though these guys, they do all these wrong things, sin against me, even despite my commandments, despite all these commandments we put in place to say, do not kill, I still kill, do not rob, I still rob, do not even cheat, I still go out there and cheat, But then he decides to say, I'm going to go down and die for Kelvin. He knew me even before I was born. The Bible actually says that. I prayed to God that, Lord, I want to change. I want you to make me your son. I want to live a better life. I want to do something else. I want to follow Jesus Christ. If I am to rap, I want to rap about the love of God. Yeah, I started living in my own world, as in I was alone, The other thing that I used to struggle with back in the days before I got saved was pornography, I used to love watching porn. Like, you have no idea. That thing was my joint. I could have that for breakfast. I could have that for lunch, like supper, type of thing. Did my business already. The more I watched, pornography, the more I got addicted to it, to the point that I used to, masturbate and stuff like that. I'm not even ashamed to talk about it, because I know someone out there might be struggling with the same thing. But guess what? The moment that I got saved, Jesus set me free. For once in my life, I was able to control myself to say, no, dude, Kelvin, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna watch porn tonight. Get rid of it. So I started getting rid of stuff like that when I got saved. My porn, my silly, my secular music, and all these things. When you're saved, you still struggle. Like for me, I was struggling with porn before I got saved, and I was still struggling with it even after I was saved. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. This was business already. After a while, I'd say I'm saved, but then I'd go back to porn. I'd go back to masturbating. I'm not gonna tell you that I'm a virgin. I'm not, because I've messed around in my life. And these things have been happening in my life. You understand? I've been trying to find the real purpose why I was created, and the purpose, and my life never made sense until I met Jesus Christ. It's when I had the power, the strength, to stop these other things, like to right now, I don't struggle with porn. I've got the power to say no to porn. But back in the days, it was one of those things that when I would say, when I would watch a scene on TV, like a sex scene or from a movie or something, I'd be like, you know what, where's porn? I'll play that joint. At the end of the day, I would masturbate. So my life has been like that. I've messed up, pretty bad. I've messed around. But then right now, I've met Jesus Christ, and my life has changed. So what I'm trying to say is that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No one goes to the Father except through Him. Me, I'm saved. I'm totally free. Jesus Christ has saved me, and I'm free from porn. I'm free from my old life. I'm free from wanting to be noticed in the world. I'm free from trying to fit in. I'm no longer like that. This is me. I live my life the way it is because I have found that fulfilling thing. I wouldn't call it a thing because it is bigger than that. I found Jesus. I found the God, the one who created me. That is why I know why I was created. That is why I do what I do. I'm not going to lie to you that I'm living a perfect life. I do meet some challenges, but it is different because right now I've got the power to say no to sin. That's the word. That's the word. That's the word.